So James Franklin got canned after 12 years at Penn State. First coach that's ever been fired with the talent and the championship expectations that they had, man. That team was broken following that overtime loss versus Oregon and proceeded to lose back-to-back games against teams that they were favored by 20 plus points to win by each and single week. Back-to-back games, bro, where they were supposed to beat these teams. They're favored by at least 20 points. They lost. That's a rough way to go out for James. However, we knew this was coming sooner or later, but just not in midseason. So moving forward, who should Penn State hire to lead this football team next season moving forward?
Bro, it's crazy. There's a lot of guys out here, man. There's a lot of guys, but right now I'm seeing UNLV Dan Mullen, man, the ex-Florida coach. I think he'll be a good fit, man. The quarterback whisperer. You feel me?
Mullen, really?
I think so, bro. I think so. He'll be one of the best ones or whatever. Because a lot of these guys, bro, they gonna want so much money, man. And some of these guys, whatever, not gonna move like that. You feel me? Or maybe one of the ex NFL coaches maybe need to go back down to a Penn State or whatever. Because it's a luxurious job, you know.
Right. Yep.
Because with Callahan just getting dusted. You feel me? So. Like I said, maybe he might want to go back to college or something like that. But man, this is a big name. Maybe Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer want to get the coach in.
Please no.
Yeah, that'd be weird to see.
Man, he might want to get back to coaching. So there's a lot of guys out here or whatever. But definitely Dan Mullen, UNLV.
That's crazy. That's the first time I've heard Dan Mullen's name. I think the biggest, most obvious choice that everyone's hearing is Curt Cignetti, who's in his second year coaching Indiana.
Right.
They went 11-2 last year in his first year. They're sitting at 6-0 right now after winning the biggest game in Hoosiers football history, man. I mean, this guy, he's won at James Madison. He's won everywhere he's coached so far.
Right.
I mean, Google me. I win. That's his catchphrase, and it's true, bro. That's the man wins. A piece of cake, no problem.
Right.
But however, I think there's a couple issues with that because James Franklin was owed $50 million. Would you really want to break the bank on a guy like this to come in and, you got to, while you're paying the unemployed man on top of that? I mean, there's stipulations to his payments. So like he's required to look for employment. And if he gets another job making like only $5 million a year, Penn State only has to charge they're only responsible for like the $3 million that year because his annual salary is like 8 point some million. So if he gets another job, depending, it might not be that bad as originally allocated. But I just think another issue with the Curt Cignetti hire would be he's going to be taking Indiana to the playoffs this year more than likely.
Right. For real.
I mean, so they couldn't bring him into like early 2026, and I mean that's lots of time lost for recruiting and so forth. So as much as they would probably love to have him there, I don't know if that's going to pan out because I mean they've had like 4 or 5 decommitments already from especially a running back who really they was counting on. So that's tough, man. They're losing recruits like that. That's what happens in a process like this. And then Curt Cignetti might not want to leave Indiana. I mean, he's building a monster.
I was about to say that'd be
what he's doing, bro. This man doesn't have 1 5-star on the roster. They got like 4 4-stars, and the rest is like under that. I mean, he builds characters of men, bro. Like so, and he just got paid by Indiana last year, so a good hefty amount. So
exactly,
he may not want to leave.
I keep seeing the name Matt Rule out there.
Yeah, man.
He's a former player, I know. Yeah, he obviously he didn't really pan out in the NFL or whatever, so he came back to college. He's a head coach of Nebraska right now,
and he's a Penn State alum.
Right, exactly. So he played for Penn State. Paterno. Yep, he went there and all that stuff. So like he's got a lot of familiarity.
He's got a very close relationship with the athletic director Patrick Kraft.
Exactly. So like it could work, but the way that I see it as well, what has he done in Nebraska? How is Nebraska like worth?
They're okay. Maybe like 4-2.
They're not
3.
They're not that great. So
they're 5-1 right now.
But it is Nebraska. Come to Penn State where you have the ties, the familiarity, get some high recruits in there and stuff like that. Throw your fucking NIL money at them and whatnot, and you could build that up within a couple years. Get all of Franklin's people out, bring all your guys, whatever. After a couple years, it could be something. But the question is, do we think that Matt Rule is that type of coach that would be
No,
better than what Franklin has done?
I'm
bro.
so
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say I'm so glad he brought that up, bro, because that man's been a head coach since 2013 for 4 different teams, one being in the
Right.
NFL. And since 2013, he's had 3 good seasons, bro. 2015 and 16 with Temple, which led to the Baylor job he got, where 2019 was his sole good season there. And that sole good season got him the Carolina Panthers job, and we all know how that ended. You know, Nebraska's sitting at 5-1 right now, so I think he's auditioning for this job, no doubt. If they call, he'll definitely take it. But if I'm a Penn State, do I really want that, bro? I don't see that being that good of a fit. That man ain't really done nothing. 3 good seasons since 2013.
The thing
I'm
is,
good on that.
If y'all gonna fire your coach, bro, you gotta have somebody in mind. But you gotta have somebody that's larger than life. That's a real coach, not somebody that's gonna come in there and do less what James Franklin did, because he did a hell of a job. He lost
He
3 in
did.
a row or whatever, but he ain't lost to 2 unranked teams. He lost to Whiteout or whatever against Oregon or whatever, which they probably should have lost anyway. You feel me? Like it was a close game, but offensively y'all wasn't really doing much until like the last couple minutes. But like I said, that could have went either way or whatever. A lot of people was pulling for Oregon still in the whiteout, you know. But you lose to
UCLA.
UCLA, then Northwestern.
Northwestern, right?
Yep.
Come on, man.
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
do
go after
better.
that.
You got to do better than that.
Franklin's record for like top 5, top 10, top 25 teams is god awful for the most part. Like,
right.
Yeah,
You
4
can't-
and 20 something,
Yeah,
0 and
it-
something.
But that's
Yeah.
why they top 5
teams.
That's why
Yeah.
they top 5 teams. You feel me?
Right,
Like, for
right.
real, because they got the cream of the freaking crop, bro. You trying to rise to that occasion or whatever. And like I said, and a lot of these games, whatever, y'all was right there in it. Y'all right there in those games, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you just don't have enough to get that stuff because y'all pedigree or whatever is running the ball, constantly running the ball, not getting great receivers. You feel me? Your quarterback or whatever, he's so hit or miss this year or whatever. Last year a little bit too. You feel me? Like you don't have top notch receivers or whatever, man. Y'all pretty much built like a Michigan. You feel me? With the defense and running game. You feel me? But it takes a little bit more than that with the Ohio States and all the USCs and stuff that's coming in to the conference now, whatever, man. Y'all can't just do that stuff, man. It's got to be a different mind state going
It's the
forward.
schematics, man.
It's got to be a
the
different.
schematics.
It's got to be a different mind state going forward though with Penn State or whatever, because y'all still gonna be number 3, sometimes number 4 in the conference. You feel me? Like I say, if the conference keep getting bigger, y'all got to broaden y'all horizons, whatever, especially offensively, because that'd be the problem. Man, y'all had games. Y'all was favored by like 50 something points or whatever. Y'all to put up 32 points. So clearly y'all underachieving in the eyes of the fans and the eyes of Vegas. You feel me? So it's just those things like that or whatever, man. You can't put up 32 points on the Kent State on the freaking Citadel, something like that, or whatever. You supposed to be blowing these teams out, whatever, getting your reps up. So when you play a good team, y'all ready. You feel me? But y'all really ain't been ready, man.
I just think it's the schematics, man. I think the mismanagement of Drew Aller, that speaks volumes in itself. The type of offense you're running is not fit for his skill set. And you had him and there have been numerous players like that. And when that happens, it questions your development of players. That hurts them. So that's one of the knocks against Franklin. The other knock is he's a good recruiter, gets good people in there. He builds good teams, but he can't win that big game because of schematics, because of questionable decisions, because of other things that come into play that ultimately he had to go because the environment at Penn State, like the students, the fans, they all wanted him gone. It was toxic. They had enough, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. But I think that Penn State, you can go for that big home run hire with like a Kurt Signetti, home run hire, or what they could do is they could stay in house, bro. A team can always stay in house nowadays. We're seeing more and more of that nowadays. So
Michigan
I'm going to tell
did.
you right now, if interim head coach Terry Smith, that's the guy who's interim head coach now, but if he leads this team and they win out, what happens then? What if they beat Ohio State?
Mm-hmm.
Can you seriously hire somebody else if this guy has them win out and beat Ohio State? They got to play Indiana too, so they're not going to win out nor probably beat these teams. But I'm just saying, what if they did?
One of the two.
What if they did? One of the two. One of those two games. If you win,
I
one
say
of those
Ohio
big
State
games,
over Indiana because that's the bigger game.
Like, if you win one of those two games, bro, I'm just saying that is a hell of a. If you're auditioning for a job right now, if you're Terry Smith, that's just winning one of those games could build a
Right.
strong case for the
Catapult.
unknown guy to keep this job, bro. I mean, look at Sharon Moore at Michigan. He
Right.
was an unknown. With the shit that Harbaugh and all that blew up, like none of us ever anticipated he'd be head coach. He stepped in, he filled in, and look what happened. And he's our head coach now. Well, he might be on the hot seat in another couple. Well, that's a conversation for later. But as far as Penn State goes, they could also stay in house with defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. He's a highly praised by many defensive coordinator. He might get a chance. I mean, he hasn't been a head coach since 2009 at Cornell. He wasn't very good, but great coordinating, man, gets you opportunities to do shit like that. And I just think that if you hire someone in house or someone not as proven, like you're not risking that much of a financial crisis as opposed to if you brought in a big name guy or something like that. But I'm gonna tell you what though, something tells me that I personally think they might stay in house, but I think they got somebody in mind, bro, because you do not make a move like that with
Right,
a 50
in the middle of
ready to
season.
pay a $50 million buyout in the middle of the season unless you know you got somebody like, yep, I'm your guy after this season. So I think they fucking know exactly who they're gonna hire, but I don't know, man. You got maybe Jim Knowles, maybe Terry Smith, maybe Matt Rule. I wouldn't go that way, but if they could land Kurt Signetti, do they swing the ball and they swing for the fence? Do they take that chance for him? They could do it, man. But there's a lot of good guys out here. I'm seeing Manny Diaz, Matt Campbell. I mean, there's a lot of good coaches
Manny
out there.
Diaz raw.
Yeah.
He definitely raw.
He's doing good things at Duke, man. So these are just a couple of guys. We tried to give you guys a couple more names, different names that you're not seeing on everybody's lists of top 5 guys to Penn State. But these are just a couple guys. Who do y'all think is going to be the next coach at Penn State? Let us know.